is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Going beast mode when the game begin. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man, it feel good to be an Indian.
Welcome to this week's edition of the John Peacock Coaches Show. I'm John Massoni here with Venice Indian head football coach John Peacock. And, Coach, no game last week. It was a bye week for the Indians. And I know you kind of gave them a little bit of a break. We talked about it last week that you're going to give them a sort of a shortened schedule. You can probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah, we gave them a couple of days off. I think it's important, in your off week and then anytime you possibly can to give them days off if you can. Just so their body's healthy and their legs are fresh and, mentally, physically, kind of all the above, I think is a good thing. They're able to do that in the NFL and they're able to do that in other places. We should be able to do that as well. Although they always do get off the weekends, but I think a little extra time away is always good for them.
Bye week, when you set your schedule up, you like it a little earlier, or what would you? If they said you could pick any week you want, what would you be your spot?
I'd probably say week 7.
Okay.
Yeah, week 7. I think that's when we had it before, but I think we had to fill something in there. But you want to kind of try to put it in the middle somewhere, not so much in the front end. Now we played before. I think in 21 we were. Off week was 0. First week we were off.
Yeah.
In the past we've had week 11 off. So we've had it every which way but loose. So not an issue. Just you kind of adapt to where you're at, and this is sometimes we don't get the luxury of exactly choosing exact dates because we got it's tough for us to fill our schedule to start with.
Right. Yeah, schedule is an issue. You've got the district games, but then you start filling anything around that. That's can be difficult. But again, the way it works out, are you more worried about stopping momentum with a bye, or more is it more of a positive where you want to adjust or get healed up or whatever it may make adjustments? Can it flow both ways, and how do you look at that?
Well, you get a little nervous as a coach coming off your bye week and playing a big game. But I think if you work it right and you prepare correctly, you should be fine. You do miss that. There's definitely things that happen during the game, and you definitely get momentum and you get on that schedule and that regiment of what you're doing each week, and the kids get used to playing each week. And then when you have your off week, it kind of seems like it's forever that you play the game.
That's what I was going to say. What to do is that you almost feel like Fridays are empty. You don't know what to do with yourself because you're expecting to play.
It just seems like a long time in between games when you have that off week. But I think like I said, I think it was actually came for a good time for us. We had some kids that were banged up, and we needed to get healthy and ready to attack our district schedule and the rest of our season.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you depending on how much time you have, but you're probably peeking at a few other teams that are going to be coming up if you can.
Yeah, we were able to prepare for Manatee last week and some this week. Manatee's a really, really good football team. They have an outstanding defensive line. One of the better Manatee teams that I've seen, and that says a lot. Because there's been some really, really good Manatee football teams. Yeah,
absolutely. Because that going back to the when they were always in the district.
Right.
That was a 7-year, 8-year run there. They were good and we were good, and it was the game of the year for about 8 years in a row. So that there's definitely that. But again, this week River Ridge comes in from Pasco County, Newport Richey area. So I'm sure you're well prepared for them as well at this point.
Yeah, they're I think they're a newer program. I think we should fare pretty well. I think we're going to have a little bit of advantage in the skill position and then in the passing game. So, hopefully we can go take care of business, and we can look like we are prepared and look like we know what we're doing. And I really want to have a complete game on both sides of the ball where we come out and we execute offensively and we're able to be physical and fast on defense, and we haven't yet put that together for a whole entire game. We've had glimpses of it. We have actually played fairly well offensively throughout. Not as well, obviously not as good as I would want and what my expectations are, but we have shown flashes. So, we made adjustments on our defense, and we made adjustments in our kicking game, and made adjustments with our personnel on special teams. So that was something that we were able to do this past week and the off week. That, hopefully when we show up Friday night, you'll see a difference and you'll see a little bit better football team.
Well, hopefully, we said, but now when we got 7 home games in a row too, that's going to be a nice little setup as well. With that, we'd like to thank Bogies for for the hosting of the John Peacock Coach Show this year, and we're definitely trying a lot of the menu.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row I went salad. I've been really good.
I know,
I'm trying to lose
and
weight.
I went the opposite way both weeks. But I mean, it's the variety they have here has always been really good. The menu's been deep. So if you ever come here,
kind of a newer menu. I don't know how long it's been out.
It is, but I did a brisket slider situation. But they're known for their wings and their pizzas and everything else and their burgers. So that's been always here. But they like to tinker with the other part of it. I think that's kind of smart. Keeps it fresh because you come in over and over again.
You
for
got
the same thing.
New thing with the bowls. You got the bowl last week.
Yeah, it did. It was good, really good. So come on down to Bogies. Football season is full gear right now. So I know that Saturdays and Sundays here in particular are really going. So come to Bogies and have a good meal and enjoy a ball game. With that, we'll take our first break of the night and come back, Coach, and we'll talk a little bit more about the preparation during the bye week, and talk a little bit about the first 3 games and recap a little bit of what was there and what you saw and some of the adjustments you have made, like you said. So
okay,
we'll do that. Take a break. Come back here for the John Peacock Coach Show in a few minutes.
We would like to take a moment to thank these sponsors for making this show a possibility: Jenkins Chevrolet, State College of Florida, Bogies of Venice, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Absolute Aluminum, Chick-fil-A Pelican Plaza, Douglas Jeep, and Lightning Fast Car Wash.
Education, career, skill. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And we're back here on the John Peacock Coach Show. And, Coach, before the break, we were mentioning, the first 3 games. I think a lot of times, prospectively, I know that you schedule tough games. Games against teams that are state champions, perennial powerhouses, and they're well coached. They have great athletes, and to be at 1-2 at this point I know you're not happy with that. 3-0 is the only way you're going to be happy, but you got to think that this did give you an opportunity to look at some things and assess some things, and then going into the rest of the season, probably making some adjustments. Maybe you couldn't have, or maybe you wouldn't have made without having those tests.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, when you do lose a game, obviously when you're dissecting it and you're breaking your own film down and you're trying to make corrections and trying to figure out what do we need to do to win these games.
Right.
You look at it definitely with a magnifying glass compared to when you win, and I only say that because I think after you do win a game, you try to tell yourself to look at it that way and to adjust that way. But it's only human nature to be satisfied when you are winning.
Right.
And sometimes you may overlook something that you wouldn't overlook if you had lost a game.
Right.
But like I said, you truly tell yourself, regardless win or loss, you want to make sure you have the best football team. You're doing the best thing. But when you do lose a game, I don't know how most everybody is, but I'm pretty down in the dumps and trying to figure out what I need to do to win.
You're more of the remember the loss guy than
have
a party about the win. You know what I mean? I think the losses hurt more than the wins feel good in a lot of cases.
That's definitely true, and I wish I could enjoy wins more.
Yeah, but
it's just not how I'm built, I guess. But yeah,
but that's everybody. If anybody who's a very competitive person, no matter what you do, you remember things that the negative thing more sometimes than the positive stuff.
Right.
It's always been that way. So that's you're normal for the most part.
Yeah. Normal, but I'm not necessarily sure I like it.
No doubt. And then, of course, like I said, with making adjustments after games, a lot of times the questions are like, when do you decide to make an adjustment in a game? Like, so you've got the game plan all mapped out. You know what you're doing, and maybe the execution's not quite there or whatever it may be. And then there's got to be a point where you're like,
Or they're giving you a different look or something, yeah.
When do I decide to, get away from what we
Adjust,
wanted
yeah.
to do and adjust? Is there a time, or is it a gut feeling?
No, I mean, we now with the technology we're able to use on the sideline and with the film, we're able to make adjustments from series right after our first series.
Right.
And sometimes, you can make adjustments during your first series. We script our plays. We script our first 20 plays going into a game. But at the same time, if we're not getting the look that we expected we're going to get, we can just go from the hip and kind of make some adjustments on what we're doing. But, today's world compared to just, I would say, 10 years ago, to where we didn't have that technology on the sideline. We're able
I'd say it's been right about 10 is you're about right.
Yeah. I want to say the first year was, I think we played South Fort Myers down there as one of the first years. So, when you're able to get on the film and see what you just did in the last series, and you're not getting the front that you thought you were going to get. So now you can adjust your run game, or you can adjust how we're blocking your run game. And then if you're not getting the coverage you expected to get, then you can make adjustments on your passing game. So the adjustments are made really in time, right after each series.
So it could be within the first series, like you said, just, hey, we're seeing something different. We got to make this little adjustment. Are the kids, I know you're talking about sudden change, are the players, are they adapted?
Able to adjust?
Yeah,
pretty much. I think when you have an offensive line that's been, they're all returning starters. So, you play a 15-game schedule last year, and then we've already played. Would this be six games? Because it'd be 5 games this year with a spring and the kickoff classic game. So they've pretty much seen every front and kind of pretty much anything that we're throwing at you. So anything that we're adjusting to is, you're really adjusting off of something that we've done in the past. So it makes it much easier to say, all right, well, we're going to, instead of blocking this way, we're going to do it this way. Remember when we did this against Charlotte last year, or remember when we did this against Lakeland in the state championship? That's how we're going to do this. And then okay, I understand what you're talking about now. So they're able to draw back on the experience. That's why it's nice to have a line that has some experience.
So another thing I was going to ask him too, because I have different questions in the community here, little things, but having the luxury of having 2 quarterbacks that can perform, 2 running backs that, when healthy, can perform, obviously, and then the receiver. How do you the platooning of players, the adjustments with all that? Do you see that something that you want to keep on continuing through the year, or will you finally get to the spot where you say, like, it's this person's opportunity to be the workhorse in the situation?
Yeah, well, it's funny. Let's address the quarterback first. We have 2 very, very capable quarterbacks, and I think they're the 2 best quarterbacks in our area, without a shadow of a doubt. If any of them, either of them went to a different school, they'd be the starter.
Right.
Now they do have different strengths. Sure. Each has their own strength. They're not twins. Right. They're not robot twins. They're not exactly the same.
You can't program them. to do the same thing.
I do believe, like, as a coach, like, you have to have that a starter. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in, like, 2 platooning quarterbacks, like here, your series, next series, because then now you have 2 game plans. Right. Because we base our game plan and what we're doing offensively with our personnel. It's not, we don't have it's not the John Peacock system. When you come here, this is what you're going to do.
Right.
We adjust to what we have. I tell the kids all the time, this is your team. I'm going to have another team next year. Right. But this is your team. This is your locker room. This is your offense. This is your deal. So we adjust off of what we have, and we try to play to their strengths. And Jaden has won that job. Now, with that said, we are able to use Ryan in different packages, and Ryan is fully capable. I am fully confident if anything were to happen to Jaden, that he could step right in
Right.
and run our offense. Now, with that said, it would be we would be a little bit different.
Right.
Okay, not exactly what we are now. We'd be a little bit different, not in a bad way or a good way, just different.
Right.
But Ryan has, like I said, he's impressed. He's impressed a lot of people. He's had a great year.
Sure.
He's had a great year. You know,
I agree.
At the quarterback spot, he's been a great leader. You know, and we're building his package. And,
Right.
You know, you're gonna see them both on the field a little bit more together for one moving forward. But we are building that package, and Ryan's a great athlete too. I just, you know, so there's no saying that we can't put him back there and throw the ball to him
Right.
or get the ball in his hands,
Right.
because he's a great athlete, and he's big, and he runs hard and tough, and you know, getting the ball in his hands is a plus.
Right. And the running back situation, I've seen it. I went to the University of Florida game this past weekend. You have two more than capable running backs, two different styles. One guy was just having a better game because look, his style suited the situation better. I'm sure you have the same situation with your guys as well.
Yeah, you know, well, we actually have three guys.
Three. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it took a little bit for Macho to kind of get up to speed, but he's a freshman. You know what I mean? So I feel real confident in him. You know what I mean? I don't know how much playing time that he'll see, but he is a guy like I don't have any reservations with. Runs hard, blocks hard. I think he's finally got a really good grasp of the offense, and he's not so much thinking about what he does, but let's do this good. Coach Bonner does a great job with those guys and getting them reps. You know, he gives them a little bit more reps than I may give. You know, than
Right.
But he does. Coach Bonner does a great way of figuring out how to get all those kids reps and all those kids an opportunity to look, and it's paid off with Macho. You know, because he is truly a guy that's kind of ready to go now.
Right.
And Alvin's healthy, and you got Alvin, and you got Gator, and those are those are two of the best backs again in the area, and they do a great job complementing each other. Alvin's more of a slasher, you know, tough runner, and Gator's kind of got it all. You know, he runs hard. He's great vision.
Well, like you said, you can see some guys who can do that, being able to cut in the hole and do certain things that just, I don't know if that's instinctual or what it is, but that's a valuable thing because you can watch. It looks like all of a sudden he's there and he's not there. He's comes through a doorway and off he goes.
And you know, Gator's potential is out the roof. You know, I mean, he's, you know, another year in the weight room, getting a little faster and a little more confidence. It's going to be pretty scary. You know,
we was talked about how that body changes from the junior to the senior year.
Yeah,
too,
well,
so
it's a big
deal.
That's one of the biggest deals is when, you know, junior to senior year, and he's going to be pretty impressive next year.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's going to be impressive this year.
Oh yeah,
They're
so
going to be impressive
far
this
so
week.
good. Yeah, no doubt. With that, we'll take our second break of the night and come back here to Bogies. We'll talk a little bit more about our opponent on Friday night, River Ridge. Again, how we're coming into I would call it the meat of the schedule, getting into where the games are really manageable, and you need to have some, you want that success to be build from here. So with that, we'll take a break. Come back here to Bogies and the John Peacock Coach Show in a short little bit.
We would like to take a moment to thank these sponsors for making this show a possibility. Jenkins Chevrolet, State College of Florida, Bogies of Venice, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Absolute Aluminum, Chick-fil-A Pelican Plaza, Douglas Jeep, and Lightning Fast Car Wash.
Education, career, skill. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And we're back here at the John Peacock Coach's Show. And Coach, again, opponent on Friday night is River Ridge, out the Pasco County area. Coming down, everybody used to know, Pal Davis Stadium, 7:30. No 8 o'clock starts, right? People
7:30.
can make it down at a certain time. Good, right? So 7:30 kickoff. And then again, please come out and support the Indians. In person, we love it when the crowd has been cranked up. And the two first games, Tampa Bay Tech and Armwood, they were cranked up, and it was pretty packed there.
Yeah, we had some good crowds. Usually when you have, I always like to say, we always have great crowds when we have a chance of losing.
Yeah, everybody wants to see what's going to happen. Right. It's a big test.
Yeah, we're really going to lose.
So, but River Ridge is a newer program. When, so you're looking at film, you're saying we have a pretty good chance of winning the game. Is there a tendency, or could there be a tendency? Kids watch film; they know what's coming up. I think we talked about this a few times before this, but they know what's being said on social media. They know about their opponents. They know what the expectations are. Is there ever ever a chance where you you look in their eyes and you say, they got to get fired up? They're taking this as a little Saturday afternoon or a little Friday night fun game here, when it needs to be all out all the time.
Yeah, we have those discussions a lot. And that's one of the, I think in high school that's a little, I don't know how it is in college, but I don't think there has to be a whole lot of motivation in college, because I think they're more, a little bit more mature about the situation. But we talk about it all the time. You have a certain number of opportunities to play,
right?
And it's very limited. And for those limited opportunities, there's an awful lot of time put in to be able to participate in those opportunities.
Right.
You work all year round for, really it comes down to, and during the football season, 12 guaranteed opportunities. I tell them all the time, I say guaranteed, but they're not really guaranteed. We have another storm roll through here.
Right.
You might lose a couple.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we knock on wood, we haven't lost any games this year, but the last couple of years we have.
Right. Right.
So we talk about that a lot, and we always talk about, we're not competing with our opponent. We're always competing to be the best version of Venice. Always challenge them with, it's not always about the scoreboard, and it really isn't. It's not about the scoreboard. It's about how we perform and what we do. Are we doing what we've been coached to do? When somebody leaves the stadium, are they saying, wow, man, that's a really disciplined team that really has great players and they know what they're doing and they have a great product. They're putting a great product on the field. Or they leave and saying, oh, well, yeah, we won by this many points, but it was really sloppy. There were 6 fumbles, and we luckily recovered 5 of them, and what I mean. So,
right.
So there's a difference. There's different types of wins, and there's obviously we want to look. We want to be proficient in what we're doing, and we want to look like we've been practicing, and we want to look like we know what we're doing.
Right. And like you said about there is a limited amount of times. It's payday.
Yeah.
All the work you did Friday night is payday.
And that goes through that's a whole year of work.
Right. And you almost got to be at the point where that's your opportunity. You can't wait to get out there, and you can't wait to do that kind of stuff. So I get that too, because sometimes it is a matter of figuring it all out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Once you do, so everybody's going to make mistakes, right? You're going to have somebody jump offside. You're going to have somebody do something that can happen. And sometimes you can win the game handily, and you look at yourself and you say, I need to correct that. I think that's the player you kind of want, though, at that point, right? You want to say, somebody says, yeah, I know we won, and yeah, but I wasn't at my best, because I need to be at my best from this point forward, or as much as I can be. If you're aware of it, you're probably not going to make some of the same mistakes again. So that's a big part, I think, of again, what you guys have to try to. You're junior psychiatrists in some ways too.
I'm not junior. We're well advanced.
Because you got to figure out. I mean, at this age, it's homework, it's school, it's girlfriends, it's everything else that get involved.
There's so much going on in these kids' lives. You have no idea, and that's just a minimum. The homework, the girls, the school. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's so much craziness in each of these kids' lives, and they're all different, and they all have a different story, and it's and you like to learn about them and try to help them through that. And even though I might not have had the same experiences they had, but they always tell them, but it's just that's a totally different subject. But there's so much going on with these young men in everyday life that we have no idea.
But it's significant. It is a significant part of it, because you just don't know what week to week can happen in somebody's. And it's something that you and I would just brush. Oh, that's no big deal. But to a 16-year-old, it's a huge deal in some
And I always tell our kids, don't always, everyone wants to always compare, like, oh, well, I did that, and coach made me do this, but he did that, and this was what he. I always tell them, like, you have no idea what's going on in your teammate's life. You have no idea.
Right.
And don't, until you understand that, don't question what I'm doing, because I promise you that I'm always fair, but it ain't the same. Fair isn't the same.
No.
So
going into the game like this week, how much do your position coaches do you go up to them and say, how's so-and-so doing? Or is anybody something they need to be worried about? Or do you just go in there and they, if there's nothing going on, they will or won't tell you? I mean, they've got to be part. They're closer to them more than you are.
Oh, you mean the personal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, and and that's one thing I was thinking about last week. Is I kind of miss that, like the personal relationships. Not that I don't have them, but
right.
As a position coach, it's so much easier to build those personal relationships, and just so that is something I miss. But I do get to. I'm coaching quarterbacks this year, so I get to spend a lot of time with Jaden and Ryan, and I do enjoy that a lot. So I'm able to build something with them. That's been really healthy and good for me this year. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And we're having we just put together a leadership council, so I get to spend time with those guys, all different positions, but yeah, they'll inform me what's going on with, the position coaches. Hey, this is what's going on with this guy, and hey, and, just so you know, this kid is dealing with this, and, yeah, so we do communicate that. And, I think one thing is all of our coaches love our kids, and regardless of, there are how can I put this? Okay, I think we all love all of our kids. Some of our kids misbehave.
Right. But they're kids.
Right, yeah.
You have two kids at home. One
some kids get punished.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean we don't love you.
Right.
That
Matter of fact, I always used to say
that means we do love you.
When I stop talking to you, that's when you have to worry about it.
Yeah, when you do something wrong and we don't address it, we don't love you anymore.
It's a good advice.
Yeah.
With that, we'll take our final break of the night, come back here to the John Peacock Show, and we'll tell you where to go Friday night and where to watch us if you can. So we'll be back here in a few minutes.
We would like to take a moment to thank these sponsors for making this show a possibility. Jenkins Chevrolet, State College of Florida, Bogies of Venice, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Absolute Aluminum, Chick-fil-A Pelican Plaza, Douglas Jeep, and Lightning Fast Car Wash.
Education, career, skill. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
And we're back here at the John Peacock Coach Show, and thank you again to Bogies for having us tonight. And Coach, 7:30 Friday night, Pal Davis Stadium, River Ridge comes in, and we want everybody to be there like usual.
Yeah. We, kids are looking forward to be back at home. It feels like forever since we've been home.
I know,
it hasn't though. But
we did a lot of traveling. The travel days were long.
Yeah, long. Yeah, we didn't leave
long.
at noon. Those were definitely long travel days. On the bus across the state. Yeah, definitely long. So maybe that's what made it feel longer, or maybe it was the fact that one of the long ones, the bus broke down on the way home.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That happens. That's going to happen. Weather's supposed to be nice. I'm hearing, so it could be nice.
It has been nice.
So it'll be nice.
Yeah.
It could be a
you got a long sleeve on today.
Tip of the fall weather coming through here. So we're hopefully that hurries up and gets here. Also want to make sure we point out that if you cannot make it for some reason, or if you're watching us from parts that further away from Venice than you need to be, our live stream, Vibrant Aspect Media, will be having that up on their website, and you can also link through the VeniceIndianFootball.org page. Link on the Vibrant Aspect Media placard there, and you can get to see it. We normally come on at 7 o'clock with a pregame show. We'll see how things work out. We're going to have a mystery color analyst, so we're going to see how that works out. I don't even know who it is at this point, but we'll figure it out. And whoever it is, it'll be fun, it'll be good, it'll be entertaining, and it'll be visually spectacular. You've even commented how good it does look.
And they got a new beautiful camera, so I'm expecting it to be even nicer.
And game clock, all kinds of stuff on the. So you guys need to come out. If you can't come out to see us live, do it on the live stream, and you'll definitely enjoy the program. With that, Coach, we are done for tonight, and look forward to tomorrow night and seeing how the Indians perform and hopefully prevail as well. So with that, I will say goodnight from me, John Massoni, and for Coach John Peacock, and we'll see you next time on the John Peacock Coaches Show.
What time is it? Game time. 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 Going beast mode when the game begin. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man,